Team on the rise. They've won 3 straight, playing for their 4th consecutive win tonight. Bellarmine trying to move to 2-0 in conference action as we're underway from Freedom Hall.
Right away, Bellarmine gets in their kind of traditional motion offense.
He coined that motion offense. He calls it the press offense. Ball reversals emphasized. Team barely ever dribbles. Central Arkansas has struggled defensively this year, giving up 82 points per game. Justin Betts found a pocket of space and he cashes in.
And that's exactly what Coach was talking about, you know, in the pregame of let's make them play defense. You know, they didn't get anything on the first reversal, second reversal, then all of a sudden they get one skip pass and gets a layup.
It's a young starting lineup for Central Arkansas. They start 2 freshmen, including at point guard with Cameron Hunter, but they really like number 23 in black.
Yeah, and that's a little bit surprising too with all the extra year of players that people got with the COVID year. You know, most of these teams like Bellarmine has 2 fifth-year guys, so it's one of the rare teams in college basketball this year that are a little bit younger than what you typically would see.
This took a little bit of time to find their groove. They're in it now. Bellarmine's in an early groove. Dylan Penn had that last basket. He didn't score last game, so that's a good sign for Bellarmine.
Absolutely, yeah. They want to get him going again. They got big games from a couple of their other starters, but you know they're not going to win too many games with Dylan Penn scoring 0 points for them.
His first scoreless game since the season finale in 2020, right before COVID hit. Been quite a while for Dylan Penn, but he's the engine that makes this team run, leading the team at 15 a game. Central Arkansas said their main focus, stopping him tonight. 7 on the shot clock. Colin Cooper rises. He missed it. The second chance here for UCA.
There's those long arms. They're always going to have 3 or 4 guys out there that are 6'7", 6'8", that can get those big tip backs.
Jared Chatham walked before he got into post position.
Just jump hopped on it. But that's a good thing about offense rebound. He didn't have to corral with 2 hands. He just tipped it back with his hand to a teammate. And you see that a lot more now than you used to, where you know you just try to keep the ball alive and get a touch.
Bellarmine starting 5. Alec Freem still in there. Ethan Claycomb available tonight. He was a starter for Bellarmine at the beginning of the season, coming off health and safety protocols and mono before that. Here's a steal for UCA. eBay Klintman in transition for the deuce.
It's a nice finish there off the Euro step, going back to his left hand.
He's one of those freshmen out of Malmo, Sweden. Started the last 6 games and his production's quadrupled since the first 8. So Klintman, like this entire team, starting to get in rhythm, end of the non-conference, here to the start of conference play. UCA trying to pick up its 4th straight win tonight. CJ Fleming misses the floater. There's the freshman for Bellarmine, Kurt Hof. And here's Fleming.
Good look.
Coming off a career-high 22 points, Fleming couldn't knock it down. That 3-point percentage will probably rise throughout conference play. He was at 44% last year.
Yeah, he's well above a 40% 3-point shooter for his career. And some of that just the games they played early against Gonzaga, UCLA, West Virginia, you just get stymied with just top-tier talent defenders.
Darius Hall off the mark on a deep 2. And Fleming turns it over. There's Hall. Flop, no call. Hall missed it, but the follow from Cooper.
It's kind of an awkward play all around there.
It was.
Bellarmine's going to try to get a reversal here.
And a travel from Justin Betts. Not the smoothest of starts for either side. 4 apiece, just over 3 minutes in.
Rich Davenport's talking to the ref. I think he wanted a foul on that one where CJ Fleming was coming up the court. I don't think that's the last time he might say something.
He's not afraid to voice his opinion.
It was kind of interesting. It was like, was it a foul or not? It was just, like I said, it was just an awkward play.
Cooper, another 3 off the mark. Strong rebound for Freem. Penn creates. Fleming is wide open.
Great play there by Dylan Penn. They don't recognize it, but him sprinting the ball all the way down inside that free throw line got his teammate a wide open 3.
Bellarmine will take that shot 10 times out of 10 as they draw the charge on the other end. Betts was there. Eli Roberts says yes, sir. So Knights 7 and 8 this year. They can reach 500, Nick, for the first time all season because of the brutal non-conference schedule that Scott Davenport's group had.
Yeah, I think they were eventually starting to look forward to just playing some ASUN teams. You see enough of Purdue's and UCLA's and Gonzaga's and St. Mary's and West Virginia's, and you're like, you know what? Sometimes I'm just going to really play my ASUN teams and get in conference play.
Number 2 strength of schedule in the country according to the net ratings. Central Arkansas, number 39. He does make a move, but he missed it. Cold stretch for both offenses. Cameron Hunter, their point guard. Lefty for a long 3. It rolls out. Pinballs right to Hall for the jam.
2 offensive rebounds early.
Bellarmine took an early 4-0 lead, but it's a 6-0 Central Arkansas run.
Yeah, but Bellarmine's got good shots. C.J. Fleming's had 2 really good looks at 3, haven't been able to knock him down. They got an inside touch to Hof.
Penn, a high floater way off. Freem, though, is right there, and he continues to stay hot.
That 3 puts him at 50% for 3-point shooting on the year, and it's not like he's only making 1 a game. He's 22 for 44.
4 threes a game, his last 4 games.
2-year-plus starter, kind of comes down with mono, gets sick a little bit, and that's called taking advantage of your opportunities right there. And 2 huge games that Bellarmine doesn't win without him, and against Miami, Ohio, or EKU, and not just big for kind of the conference games, but it's also big on the recruiting trail. When you're beating teams in Kentucky, you're beating teams in Ohio, you're recruiting against, Bellarmine's going to recruit a lot of Cincinnati folks, a lot of Kentucky, a lot of Southern Indiana. So winning games against teams in your region just does a lot for you, not only on the court, but also in the recruiting battles. That's
a great point. Almost everybody on the roster for Bellarmine within driving distance, a couple of hours from Louisville. So if they're beating the Miami Ohios of the world, playing in a similar mid-major conference, say, hey, come here. We beat Miami of Ohio.
Absolutely.
eBay Clintman knocked down both free throws out of the break, and Central Arkansas back on top. Kurt Hove coming off a career-high 15 points. 3 for Dylan Penn, and he missed the 3.
Got late in the shot clock there. Oh,
Bet saved it.
Yeah, it looks like Central Arkansas's got a player down here. I think that's Hall. It's their best player. Fell on his shoulder a little bit.
Yep, right near where Betts tracked down the loose ball, and that would be a huge blow for Central Arkansas.
He looks like he'll be all right. Yeah, he said, let's go. He's ready. Good to see that.
Got popped in the face.
Yep. Can read his lips.
Sore or something.
Yeah, you can read his lips. He's saying he's all right. Incidental.
So UCA will take it to the front court. Team that struggled defensively off to a decent start. Bellarmine has missed some open shots. But offensively, they're playing their best of the year, coming off a season-high 93 points against Lipscomb, against D1 teams.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can come off a win at EKU and then follow it up with a win against Lipscomb, 2 of the top teams in the ASUN. It's a very impressive start to your first year in the ASUN.
Fleming just took it away.
Yep.
Good closeout from Central Arkansas. Fleming finally hits.
It's one where they have a 3-on-1 and you kick it out for 3 and you don't shoot it. You think it's a missed opportunity, and all of a sudden C.J. Fleming walks into a 3.
Missed his first 2 that were quite frankly more open.
Yeah, that was deep too. That wasn't that 25 feet.
Yeah, legit NBA range there for Fleming. Now has 201 threes in his career. That's top 5 in Bellarmine history.
Yep, he just passed my old college roommate, Justin Benedetti, for 5th all-time at 200 threes.
Do you guys keep track of that stuff?
No. Only when they bring up some stats. You know, I think more some of the points, probably maybe rebounds, but 3 points are a little bit tougher. I know it's
lighter pressure here against Central Arkansas today, but he still will be the focus as Bellarmine settles into a 2-3 zone. You rarely see that from Bellarmine.
Yeah, they did that just coming out of the timeout. First pass to the wing, they trapped it. Yeah, I mean, we practiced that, but I don't know if we ever really did it. Maybe once in 4 years we ran that. And it almost, I mean, it got a deflection on it and almost got a turnover off of it.
Now they're back into man-to-man. Ethan Claycomb, Garrett Tipton into the game. And we've got a foul on Claycomb, playing for the first time in 4 games.
Yeah, you could see the team was really excited to get him back, and just in warm-ups, you know, just the rallying around him, and, you know, happy to see him back out here. He's kind of had a tough year as far as, you know, illness, you know, mono, health and safety protocols, and, you know, not necessarily what you're always expecting in your last year in wearing a Bellarmine uniform, but glad he's back now and healthy and playing.
Scott Davenport said he just brings a length where he can see and survey over the defense and then make the proper pass that they don't have with other guys simply because Ethan Claycomb's 6'7". Correct.
And he's another shooter for them.
Yes.
Another person that takes pressure off of Dylan Penn when he drives it. He's a guy that's hard to help on. If you help on him, Dylan's going to find him, and, you know, all of a sudden, instead of it's 2 points inside, you're giving him a wide open three-pointer. Offensive foul, moving screen there on 14.
They get Cooper for it. That brings us to another break. Knights up by 6. C.J. Fleming has 201 career threes. One of the most iconic shots in college basketball history. Bryce Drew for Valpo in the 1998 NCAA tournament. Valpo upset Ole Miss, and guess who was on that Ole Miss team? Anthony Boone, now the head coach for Central Arkansas. He was on the bench when the shot was hit. Graphic covering Bryce Drew's face. He probably doesn't want to see Bryce Drew's face anymore because Bryce knocked his team out of the tournament. Boone said, everything just went perfect. I honestly didn't think it was possible. Ole Miss had a couple of free throws up 2 with very little time left. They missed both free throws. Valpo hits a 3 at the buzzer to win, and Bryce Drew becomes an instant hero. Anthony Boone suffers heartbreak.
Yeah, that play is so iconic and so well drawn up. Threw it to the big guy, got the Bryce Drew running the wing and catches, and his pass was on the money and the shot was nothing but net.
Anthony Boone's had quite the journey to this point. A crazy career at Ole Miss. 4 knee surgeries. His number 41 is retired because of the commitment to the program and the adversity that he overcame. Only other 2 student athletes in Ole Miss history to have their numbers retired, Archie Manning and Eli Manning. That's quite the list to be on.
Yeah, pretty good company there anytime you're listed with the Manning family.
Has a chemical engineering degree. He sings in the church choir. He's like an all-around human being.
He's got his team playing pretty well right now, coming off 2-0 in their first conference in the A-Sun.
Feels like his team's starting to find a groove at this point. Bellarmine retakes a 6-point lead after the lay-in from Garrett Tipton.
And I think some of that's when you start 2 freshmen, you come off the bench with multiple sophomores. You know, the beginning of the year is just tough. So, you know, it's almost like they just need a couple games under their belt and just get used to playing college level basketball. And now all of a sudden you're seeing they're a bit more comfortable and they're starting to put some wins on the board.
That upset over EKU on the road was the first real stunner, and then a shootout win over Lipscomb, 93-88. That's a top 5 team in the conference. UCA may be the surprise of the year this season, like Bellarmine was last year.
Absolutely, and they have a lot of good pieces. You know, building around Darius Hall. You know, when you have a lot of freshmen, that, you know, he's somebody that can take the pressure off of them. And they feel very well balanced. You know, and you got a couple guys averaging 13, a couple averaging 10, 8. That
was Messiah Lowo Carey. He's averaging just 4 off the bench, the sophomore from Brooklyn, New York. But also balanced with size. We've talked about their versatility. Assistant coach Bo Braden for Bellarmine said, we've seen them play 6'7", 6'8" guys at the 2 position.
Yeah, that can help you tremendously on defense. You know, I think early in the year they're at the bottom of the conference in points given up. But, you know, you have a lot of young guys, you know, and as the season gets on, you know, this team, not only going to the rest of this year, but then going into next year, is when those kids get older, because you can tell they have a lot of talent, is, you know, they're going to be a handful when it comes conference tournament time and seeing if they can make a run, you know, at this conference the whole year.
Definitely a team to keep your eye on this season in the A-Sun. Dylan Penn, baseline, runner goes.
Good ball movement there by Bellarmine.
Penn's got an early 6 after being held scoreless last game for the first time in 2 years. Knight's defense has really picked up over the last 11, holding opponents to 61 a game.
Yeah, it's a pretty good defensive possession here by Bellarmine.
Down to 5. Klintman short. It hit the rim and went out of bounds off Bellarmine, so UCA has a fresh possession. Kurt Hope back in for Sam DeVault as Scott Davenport orchestrates the defense.
We'll see if Central Arkansas can start getting the three-point line to fall. You know, last game they had 8 different players make a three-pointer. Tonight, you know, they're 0 for 4. You know, doing the job inside, but, you know, seeing if they can open that up and get some of these kids to knock some big shots down.
Yeah, they have hit double-digit threes in 3 of the last 4 games, but like you said, getting it done inside. That was Eddie Kayalud, junior from Paris. Penn on that right baseline again. That was contested. Kayalud tried to get it to Hall, but it slipped through. Freem all the way to the rim for the deuce.
Sloppy there.
Back-to-back turnovers. Penn drops it home, and Bellarmine leads by 7.
I think Coach Boone would have taken the timeout there, but they have the media here at the next dead ball.
Largest lead for the Knights so far. Trying to even their record at 500 for the first time this season.
Almost got another turnover there. Got it back in Hall's hands to kind of be that calming presence.
Takes a tough 3, and it rims out. Bellarmine's leading rebounder, Justin Betts, has it. Knights 4 for their last 5, getting great looks on the inside. Here comes the freshman Hof. Now it's Penn. Creates and hits.
Thought he was going to go up with his left, and at the last second comes back with his right. He's just so tough to stop in there, finish him with either hand.
He's ambidextrous. That is an absolute asset when you're as good around the rim as he is.
This media timeout can't come fast enough. And I think you're going to get to it. I think yep.
Just on those numbers, Nicky's 6'3".
Yeah, that's just all hard work. No rebounding is, unless you're 6'10", you know, when you see guards that are that high up there with, you know, all of the big guys in the league, it just shows how gritty and tough they are. Just the will to go get the ball. He's leading them tonight. He has 3 tonight already.
Reads those bounces like Rodman. Oh, he's got another one.
It's like we drew that up.
Knights have been rolling. 8-0 run the last 2:30. And Dylan Penn's got an early 12 points after scoring 0 against Eastern Kentucky on Saturday.
had a first possession. Bellarmine really didn't get in too much and still worked out. It's amazing when their guards get their foot in the lane and just be able to kick it out. It puts so much pressure on the defense. Instead of just passing around the perimeter, CJ got all the way down in the lane and then kicked it out.
Their goal is to play inside out every single time. They've been doing that a lot so far tonight.
I mean, this is what Coach wanted in the opening with, making them play. Bellarmine's offense right now is shooting 62%, 40+% from three. They're going to be tough to beat when they're shooting that good.
And the defense has arguably been just as good. They got Hope for a foul here. That's a heck of a contest from the freshman.
Absolutely.
And Bellarmine's coaching staff popped up, and they still applauded that effort from Hope. They love to see him being aggressive on that, not a closeout, but that challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another one, a true freshman playing, especially a big guy. It's a tough transition from high school to college. Just as a guard, but as a big guy, it's even that much harder because you just don't see 6'9", 6'10" guys, 6'8" guys that often in high school basketball. And
let alone the best 6'9", 6'10" guys in the country.
Exactly.
Hove shot fakes, but he's denied. Jared Chatham, the sixth-year senior, stuffed it. Can UCA make a run here at the end of the half? Cooper is fouled by Penn.
Penn went for that swipe, just missed it.
I think Hope may have thought he was wide open after that first shot fake.
Yeah. Kind of just got dead-footed. Pretty good block.
Yeah, Chatham, one of the rare seniors on this team. They've got 12 underclassmen. UCA does, out of 16 players on the roster. That's absurd.
I didn't think he was going to miss 2 in a row. 82% free throw shooter.
Not a ton has gone right for UCA so far. Still down 11 within striking distance, 5 to play in the first half.
Yeah, when you turn the ball over against Bellarmine, you're just asking for trouble. They have 7 turnovers already. See if they can clean that up a little bit.
Well, Bellarmine gives it away. Hall almost slid, and he did.
Looks like Central Arkansas is going to put on a little press here. I think they want to speed the game up a little bit. Bellarmine's kind of got this in this lull of, running 25, 26 seconds off the shot clock and getting a wide open layup. I think they see if they can speed them up a little bit.
Well, that's what Scott Davenport talked about. Let's make it a basketball game, because he doesn't want UCA to use their versatility and athleticism.
Absolutely. I think, if you look at the last 5 to 6 minutes of the EKU game, EKU started pressing, and, I think even CJ Fleming said, it kind of sped us up a little bit. So see if they, all of a sudden now you're kind of used to thinking they might do that tonight, and you're more prepared for it and get an easy look at it the first time.
Dylan Penn's got a ton of easy looks tonight. He has 14 points. Cooper misses another 3. They're still 0 for from downtown, 0 for 7. Betts has a lane. Out to Fleming.
Central Arkansas got lucky there.
It's a heck of a shot for Fleming. He'll continue to take that. Former team manager for UCA in the 80s, Frankie Frisco, manager for 2 of Pippen's years at UCA. This is a great story. UCA had a game at Southern Arkansas one night in 1987. Frankie Frisco had to stay on campus. His dad was in the hospital. He saw Scotty at 2 p.m. on campus. Bus is about to leave. He says, "Hey, Scotty, you better get to the bus. It's about to leave." Scotty says, "They won't leave me. I'm an All-American." Well, later on, Frisco's listening to the radio. He hears there's no Scottie Pippen, and he shows up at halftime. The bus went to pick him up at the dorm. Scottie Pippen went to the gym. It was a mix-up, as there's a bucket for Jared Chatham. He shows up at halftime. A UCA booster drove him there, and they end up winning the game with the second half rally. Well, they did leave the All-American on campus, but the All-American also helped them come back.
Yeah, he probably made it to the bus on time in the next game.
Don't blame him for the confidence with what he developed into as Garrett Tipton's tripped up. Nick Bellarmine's in total rhythm in Central Arkansas right now. Can't find a groove at all offensively.
Yeah, and, a lot of that's with Bellarmine shooting 60%. Central Arkansas is always coming down against Bellarmine's defense that's set up. It's a lot easier to play when you're in transition. You got numbers, but when the other team's making shots every time and you got to score against their set defense, it just makes it tough, and it kind of wears on you to play defense for 20 seconds. Man, Dylan Penn is having one heck of a game here today.
Could be on track for a career high. He's had 27 a couple of times this year, and he has 18 in the first half. And a charge just adds to this Bellarmine monsoon.
CJ Penn's getting anything he wants, left hand, right hand, floaters. He threw that one about 3/4 up the way the backboard. I figured they'd come out and press, and pressing is feast or famine. Usually get a turnover, somebody like Bellarmine, you're going to give a wide open look.
So a bit of a gamble here with 2:20 left. If Bellarmine continues to torch this lead could really get out of hand.
Yeah, I agree with Coach Boone here that they got to speed this game up. They're in a little bit of a funk right now. They didn't come with the trap that time. They just did the full-length alley ball on the ball.
Keep in mind, Central Arkansas is coming off a short turnaround. They played Sunday, so just one day in between, and a long flight up here to Louisville from Conway, Arkansas. Perhaps a bit sluggish here to start due to that.
Tough shot there.
Jackson Baker, a quick trigger and a massive three for UCA.
Yeah, that's their first three of the night. They needed that one. That was big.
Shooter off the bench. Not the most athletic guy, but head coach Anthony Boone says he makes up for it with a very high IQ. Oh, it's going back to the Bears. Got a little bit of momentum here with 90 seconds to go.
I didn't have a good angle on that. That's two big plays by Baker.
Looked like it grazed off the fingertips of Penn right there at the end.
Yeah, and they've talked about kind of changing that rule a little bit. Just his hand's there, but it's like the guy's hitting it off of his hand and deflects it. But I don't know how you can justify changing the rule of who touched it last. But
that would be such a judgment call.
Yeah. A lot of times they call it if it's a long, tall, and it's way up in the air and somebody hits their hand forward and they hit through the other guy's hand. But that's big 5-0 run right there for Central Arkansas.
A huge 5-0 run.
Bellarmine was up 15, took a three, could have went up 18. Now let's see if they can get it down to single digits before half.
That was Eddie Kyalud with the bucket under a minute to go.
Yeah, Bellarmine's going to get a 2-for-1 here.
Freem tripped up there. May have gotten away with the travel. Contact bailed him out.
Yeah, if they had a foul to give, two fouls to give, I should say. Nobody's been the bonus yet. Pretty clean game from a foul standpoint.
So it was tight for the first 10 points or so. Bellarmine extended that lead real quick, led by as many as 15, but this 5-0 spurt for UCA, they get a stop here in another basket. They have to feel really good about where they're at.
Absolutely.
They did rally from 11 down in the second half against Lipscomb, Nick. Fleming, tough three. Strong rebound for the freshman Hunter. Shot clock's off.
Yeah, they can hold for the last one. Looks like they're going to get into a high ball screen here. Guess they're going to look for a pick and pop to 34, Jackson Baker. And a new power.
Kayalud, 5 seconds. Hunter steps into it. Air ball, out of bounds.
And he took advantage of him.
Underway in the second half. Bellarmine 7-8 this year, trying to reach 500 for the first time all.
Well, the mini shot clock's right underneath the hoop on either side, but I don't know, maybe they didn't have them.
A less loud version today. Knight shot it beautifully in the first half, 57%. They didn't need the 3 ball. They hit just a couple. Dylan Penn was the star of the show. Better defensive possession here for UCA. Penn creates, though, as the shot clock winds down.
Yeah. Just got him to bite on that shot fake. The scout's probably telling you maybe to lay off that a little bit, but.
Cooper, alley-oop. Oh, it rolls out, but a foul.
That was a heck of an alley-oop pass right there. I thought he was shooting it at first.
I did too. I was like, that's a funky looking shot.
His feet were all sideways.
It was a long roll for Hall. Look at that
had
athleticism, almost over the top of Betts.
That's. I think the Bellarmine fans are getting on the refs a little bit. I think they thought that was, even though it was an alley-oop, they thought Justin Betts had position there. They went over his back.
Yeah, that's a fine line between invading his space in which he's jumping and having the right to your own space too.
Yeah, it's kind of that verticality is, you know, is the offensive guy going into the defensive guy's space.
Especially because he had his back turned.
Yeah.
1 for 2 for Hall.
Look for Central Arkansas to continue to kind of turn up that pressure.
There it is in the half court. Yeah. 9th turnover for Bellarmine this game.
I don't think we'll see another possession where they're not going to press, at least alley ball the guard going up the court on a play.
Trying to speed this Bellarmine team up.
It's a foul inside on. Hoof was able to draw it.
They get Jared Chatham for it.
Yeah, he just shoved Hoof. I don't know. Doesn't really have a really good argument.
Every player's going to make his case. Were you much of a lawyer out there?
No, I didn't. Maybe talk to try to butter him up a little bit, but they usually don't change their foul calls when they call them, when you argue with them. I haven't seen a ref do that yet.
No. Much less dramatic alley-oop there to Dylan Penn, but more effective.
Good shot there, great finish.
Very tough shot for Klintman. Freshman from Sweden.
Yeah, there's a couple big possessions here for Central Arkansas. They can't let this lead balloon out to 15-16 like it was late in the first half before they went on their little mini run.
One of the things Anthony Boone loves about his team is the poise. He said that's developed over the course of a tough start to the season, 5-10. It's been better the last few games, and they've been able to come back.
Yeah, they look like they have a little more pep in their step here this half. I think that's some of that's just in the locker room talking about we got to pressure, we got to get Bellarmine out of the rhythm. They're just picking us apart when we're laying back and letting them run their sets.
Only 3 on the shot clock for Hoof. Thing of beauty.
Good cut. I mean, those are just killer plays for you defensively. Guard so well, get a tip, get a couple deflections, and 1 second on the shot clock, you get back cut for a layup.
And it's happened several times tonight. Cooper was wild on that drive. 2-on-2. Penn pivots, shoots, and misses.
Good patience there by Dylan.
He's hit almost all of those tonight. 22 points. Only player for either team in double figures. And it's going the other way. Hall's called for the foul. So the argument that Anthony Boone is making, as he hands the ball off, he's going into a jump stop. but his jump stop went right into the shoulder of Justin Betts.
I think Coach Boone has an argument there.
Yeah.
Justin Betts, his fifth-year player, kind of knew it was coming and just ran right into him on purpose and fell.
Betts makes those scrappy plays.
Yeah.
Freem back cut. Hof was fed, but it was knocked loose.
He got kicked in the head, too.
Scott Davenport's irate.
Yeah,
and Hall makes him pay the other way.
Refs didn't see it. Let's see if they come and look at that here in a minute.
Penn has the silencer meanwhile.
Yeah. Said that all game.
Yeah. 24 points. Penn's career high is 27. I think he's going to break it.
I think that's, yeah, I mean, when you score 18 and a half and you get 6 in the first 4 minutes, I couldn't tell at first, but yeah, there's no malice intent on that one.
Yeah, definitely not. Still frustrating nonetheless for Bellarmine. Maybe fitting there for Kurt Hof to knock down the three and a big smile on his face.
Yeah, he's hit a couple threes in the last couple games and just another guy that is Bellarmine kind of upset field goal percentage or three-point percentage. When your center starts hitting threes, you know, 31% is going to tick up pretty quick.
He has been shooting it a lot better, starting with that Loyola Marymount game when he hit back-to-back trays in the first half. Bellarmine is roll. Pace he's at 18 in the first half, no question about it.
Which, I mean, it's great too, you know, coming off a game where he scored 0 points. You know, you don't hold your head down, your team has a big win next game. You know, it's my turn. Now it's my turn to step up. You know, last game it was, you know, CJ Fleming hit his career high. So, you know, that's a good thing you're seeing with Bellarmine. It's different guys every night that are stepping up, and it's not always Dylan having to do everything.
And he's not forcing it either. He's finding his spots, taking good shots. He's just locked in.
Absolutely. He hasn't taken one bad shot yet.
Gotta love the performance from his guy, Dylan Penn, tonight.
Absolutely. You know, like I said, coming off a game where he's scoreless and just kind of responds with a game like today. You know, very good character builder by Dylan. You know, didn't slump down. You know, next game out, lace him up, and best player on the floor by far.
Penn was first team All-ASUN last year, preseason pick this season. Missed three by Clintman, and Bellarmine collects another rebound. Here comes Claycomb in transition.
What a pass.
And Hope finishes it off. But leading up to this season, Scott Davenport said, man, Dylan Penn is confident. He's ready for a breakout year.
Absolutely. You could tell that early on, no matter who he was playing, whether it was Central Arkansas or UCLA or Gonzaga. You know, he came ready every night. This lead ballooned up pretty quick. Central Arkansas's got to get some stops here. Bellarmine just blistering on offense. Was at half, was at 57. Second half, they're shooting 87.5%. I don't think you're going to lose many games shooting 87.5%.
Well, they're getting great shots, and they're getting them late in the shot clock.
Yeah, they're just devastating.
Claycomb's wide open. Welcome back, Ethan.
I mean, there's just daggers, you know, like you said, late in the shot clock.
Sent back to Bellarmine.
Yeah, big shot there by Ethan. You know,
nobody was guarding him the whole time. For as good of a shooting team as Bellarmine is, in practice, that was practice.
Yeah. Now they're going to a zone because they brought Darius Hall back in with 4 fouls, and they're trying to protect him, which is tough because you're down 21 points and you got to play a zone.
Claycomb for a deep 2, lost his balance there with a slip.
Yeah. See Hall play a lot more reserve there with the 4 fouls, didn't get out of control.
But they know this game's getting away from him real quick. That's why Darius Hall is back in. Alowo carry misses from downtown.
Hall almost picked up his 5th right there.
Alowo carry round 2, and he knocks it down.
Big basket there. Imagine they're going to fall back in that zone again.
There it is. Penn. Goodness, he can't be stopped.
Yeah. Put your best player right in the middle of the zone and let him work. A lot of times old school thought was to put your big guy always there, and more you see teams putting their playmaker right there in the middle of the zone.
Alowo carry, back-to-back threes.
Made half as many threes in the last 2 possessions he has all year. He's 4 for 12 on the year. Now he's at 6 for 15.
Pretty confident stroke.
Yeah. When you fire 2 in a row on the same possession, I don't think you're not worried about it.
Penn for 30. Oh, there it is.
And then when he starts hitting those, it's a lot of trouble.
Career high 30 points for Dylan Penn.
Over the last 2 games, he's at a season average. Amazing when you come back with 30, you cover.
You could look at it that way. Thank you, game by game breakdown.
So I don't think they can sit in the zone too long. They're giving up layups.
Rare miss from Hope on the inside. He shoots 61%. Alowo carry. Just missed his 3rd in a row. Bellarmine still in total control right now. Trying to go 2-0 in the A-Sun. Deep 3 for Claycomb.
I mean, I know you're trying to protect your best player in Darius Hall, but you're going to have to go man. Bellarmine's got 5 or 6 just wide open looks.
And they're not going against the same length that they did in the non-conference. Alowo carry. Comes right back to it.
It's like a shooting machine over there. Just cross half court, shoot a 3.
Bellarmine's defense is laxed a bit. Alowo carries taking advantage. Lax defense for UCA. Oh, Claycomb trying to capitalize again.
That was a pretty confident stroke there.
Everybody's falling.
Almost got Claycomb for a flop one. They're trying to draw the 5th on Hall.
I think Alowo carried one of his 4th 3 there. It's Cooper instead, and he bangs it in. 15-point game.
Yeah, this is how they're going to get back in it. They only made 1 3 in the first half. They've already got 4 through the first 10 minutes here. They got to get stops, though. Bellarmine shooting 75% in the second half. You can make a bunch of threes, but if you're not getting any stops, you can't make a run.
Feels like a tipping point right here.
Yeah, I just don't love this zone.
Bellarmine eats it up. Oh, Hope missed it.
Can you do it? Or maybe another possession or 2, but then all of a sudden you're going to be, I mean, you can't just trade buckets anymore. I mean, your offense has kind of came alive this second half, shooting over 50% from 3. But if you're giving up layups and 3s on the other end, you're not ever going to cut into this lead.
The reasoning's certainly sound. You want to protect your best player. Hopefully force Bellarmine to settle from the outside. Just got to execute that.
Yeah, and when Bellarmine's making them, and you never know how much Central Arkansas actually plays zone. You know, if they're not used to playing it, and all of a sudden you got to play it against a team like Bellarmine that's got shooters coming almost at every position on the court.
Traditional man-to-man team.
And it's interesting, too, how teams say, well, I want to zone Bellarmine because I want to stop their man-to-man and how well they move the ball. But they don't understand that Bellarmine runs the same offense whether it's zone or man. And that's why they're getting all those cuts, is you continue to move and run your offense even if it's a zone. And, you know, a lot of times when teams zone, they'll stand still. And, you know, Coach Boone had timeout. He went back to the man. I thought he would.
Let's see if they attack Hall, number 4, their best player with 4 fouls. Tipton's matched up with Alowo carry. Here's Hall closing out on DeVault, and he nails a 3.
Just checked in the game, just coming in hot off the bench. I mean,
that's what he does, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, that falls a lot easier when Dylan Penn hits a 3, Ethan hits a 3, CJ, Alec. You know, it's just a lot easier. It's kind of like they come in waves.
Elias Cato, after hitting a layup, missed a 3. Betts spinning, passing, DeVault shooting. Rattles out.
Halfway down, too.
A low carry. Looked confident tonight, but he's missed his last two. Fleming, low look, DeVault, and he lays it home.
Coach Boone only has one timeout left.
UCA down 10 at halftime. All Bellarmine here in the second half. Dylan Penn has a career-high 30 points. Knights trying to reach 500. Overall in 2-0 in Comp House. Tonight, I'm with the great Nick Holmes. Nick, seen quite a performance from Bellarmine, one of their best of the year.
Absolutely. You kind of had the big win Saturday night against EKU to kick off conference, and they're following it up here. And kind of a statement win here if they can, hold on to this lead the last 7 minutes.
The best opponent that they've handled all season.
And that's their best player, just fouled out on interesting call.
With 7:10 to go, Darius Hall, very tough night for him, is out of the game.
That was a tough call, too. He was trying to front Ethan Claycomb in the post, and they kind of got him one. And out of his 5 fouls, he's probably going to look back and say 2 of them were pretty tough calls.
This is a talented guy they're losing. Played at DePaul a couple of years ago, played at Arkansas 2 years before that. He's had his 3rd stop in college, really feels like he's found a home. Just not his night tonight.
Oh, he's been averaging a double-double the last 7 games, 17 points, 10 rebounds. And, it was limited night with the fouls and 2 for 7. Bellarmine did a good job on him.
Let's see how UCA reacts after losing its leader. Betts spinning on Cato, and he drops it in.
Big move there.
Justin Betts has played big for them all season. He wasn't much of a contributor on a consistent basis, scoring column, rebounding-wise the last few years, but Betts has emerged into one of their top players this season.
Absolutely. I mean, kind of their floor general on the floor, does a little bit of everything, always stays in control.
He's always brought the hustle, the scrap, the great defensive plays. Now he's adding the rebounding and the scoring. Of course, the scoring for Dylan Penn has always been there.
I mean, 32 points on 15 out of 19. It's not like he's scoring 32 and he's taking 30 shot attempts.
Intentional foul. Chatham grabbed Freem as he was racing towards the rim. This thing unwinding very quickly for UCA. Yeah, it's a clear call.
Yep. I don't think it was a dangerous play.
No.
But, he didn't make a play on the ball.
So Alec Freem hasn't had to do much tonight after scoring 23, helping carry the team to a win against Eastern Kentucky alongside C.J. Fleming Saturday. Only 5 points tonight, now with 6. And he's hit both the shots he's taken. He was 5 for 7 from 3. Tonight, he's taken just 2 shots. That speaks to the way Bellarmine plays. And the way Dylan Penn's played tonight. So Chatham's out after the intentional foul. He's got 3 for the game. And Churchill Bounds checks in. Big 6'10"er, freshman center out of Cumberland, Maryland.
What was his name? Sounds like
Churchill Bounds.
Man, in Louisville.
We are close to Churchill Downs.
I know what they're going to be calling him in Louisville. He's a big boy.
Yeah, he's a strong 6'10".
Yeah.
Dylan Penn has 34 points. He might get to 40, Nick.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, Bellarmine's record is for points in a game. I think it's in the 40s. I know Matt Oddie had 40, over 40 one game. I think it's 44.
We'll have to get with John Spignardi on that one. Elias Cato whips a pass near side. 3 missed by Cooper. Bash Whelan, missing last game due to health and safety protocols, pulled down the rebound. So this is where Bellarmine's depth comes into play. Penn throws it away. Bounds has it run down by Betts from behind. Not running like he's at Churchill Downs. Whelan for his first three. Oh, it came up short. I thought he hit it. .26-point lead for Bellarmine. Dominant performance tonight as Cooper banks it in. Next up for Bellarmine, it's a trip to Lipscomb, who this UCA team just beat. But Lipscomb beat Bellarmine twice last year here at Freedom Hall.
Yeah, they beat them the first 2 games in conference, and then Bellarmine went on that big run. 10 straight in conference. Just gotta pass it.
It's Claycomb from NBA range. Betts is down behind the play. Cato no looks at DeClintman as he runs over Claycomb. This thing's turning up into a pickup game real quick. Penn, dipsy-do for 36.
It's a timeout to check on Justin Betts. I think he's subbing out. Just looked like he landed on his shoulder, his arm.
Scott Davenport asking if he's okay. As Dylan's going to stay out there. He's got to get to 40, right? Yeah. Oh, look at the team. 42 points and he's got 36. He's made more baskets than the rest of his teammates.
I mean, he almost has as many field goals made as Central Arkansas. They have 20, he has 17.
How do you respond after going scoreless against Eastern Kentucky? I'll go for 40.
And it's not a, where he's hunting shots. Out of his, 36 points on 21 shots is unheard of. And he's only got 2 free throw attempts. He's hit 1 3, just very efficient and taking what the defense is giving him. And he's not hunting 40, he's just, everything he's doing is working, and Bellarmine's playing through him.
Cooper gets around Penn for the deuce. Cooper's provided some good minutes for Central Arkansas. Time for the team lead with 12 points. So 10 players in Bellarmine history have reached 40. The record's 43 points from Rudy Montgomery in 1960. And also Matt Odie in 2007.
I thought 44, so I was close. I knew Matt Odie was close to the record. I didn't know if it was 43 or not.
Tipton can't believe he missed that. 3:20 to go. Bellarmine up by 24 points. So Penn has 36 right now. May not reach.
Beat Stetson, but then Stetson knocked him out of the conference tournament.
They'll have that in their minds for sure. All Bellarmine tonight against Central Arkansas. Team that came in hot with 2 straight wins after a tough non-conference schedule. Didn't have the gas tonight. Bellarmine's been dominant behind 36 points from Dylan Penn. Cooper's been pretty good tonight for UCA, and he knocks down the 3.
Yeah, 40% three-point shooter on the year is kind of far and away their best shooter from a percentage standpoint on the year.
Just 2 for 8 from downtown, but he has 15 points to lead all Bears scores. Plenty of subs out there right now with C.J. Fleming and Dylan Penn going for 40 points tonight. 38!
And just uses that hesitation. I have a feeling that if he hunts a shot tonight, it's going to be the next shot. And I don't think anybody's going to blame him if he does.
You saw Kurt Hof holding up the 1 finger. They know. 1 more for 40.
He might be coming out. We'll see.
Dylan smiling.
Yep. And Alec Freem apologized for taking him out.
Oh, man. That's tough. Alex still apologizing to him right now. Probably won't see him again.
Yeah, getting a big standing ovation from the crowd here tonight, and a big pat on the back from Coach Davenport and all his teammates. That's one of the best performances anybody's ever had at in the Bellarmine night jersey. I mean, just the efficiency, 18 for 22.
Historic game from Dylan Penn. Just outside the top 10 in most points in a game in Bellarmine history. If he played the final two, he probably would break that. But with the score being what it is, don't want to get your best player injured. UCA cuts it back to 20. Dylan shatters his career high of 27 with a very efficient 18 for 22, including 1 3. That got him to 30 points.
Yeah, and Bellarmine's been, you know, I feel like Central Arkansas played better in the second half. They shot it better. Bellarmine just didn't give them anything. I mean, they were just relentless on offense. You know, almost 70% for a half. Just very well played game by Bellarmine.
UCA cut it to 10 at halftime. And they were down to 15 with a couple of threes from Alowo Carey here in the second half. Bellarmine immediately answered that with Penn and company, and UCA hasn't been within striking distance since.
I mean, Dylan Penn's 9 for 12 in the first half for 18 points. Second half, he's 9 for 10 for 20 points. I didn't think he was going to be able to duplicate and then do better than his first half. Instead of 9 for 12, he goes 9 for 10. Very, very impressive.
So Bash Whelan's going to get looked at here before SK Shitu, their senior from Rogers, Arkansas, takes the next free throw. Sam DeVault comes in for Bash. Looks like he's got a bloody nose.
Yeah, and for Bellarmine too, I look at, you know, looking for the stats, just really had a little break. Bellarmine only had 2 turnovers this half. They have 10 for the game, 8 in the first half. But I mean, that's the difference. When you're shooting 75, 80% for a half, and then you only turn it over twice, you get 28 field goal attempts.
That dunk from Clintman. But yeah, when you turn it over that little, you're shooting as efficiently as they are, and UCA can't get it going offensively. That leads to this type of score. Bellarmine will move to 2-0 in ASUN play. UCA will drop to 2-1, and Bellarmine will sit atop the ASUN West Division.
Claycomb pulls it. Yep.
Oh, he hit it! Ethan Claycomb giving Dylan Penn a reason to jam out. Claycomb with 9 points on 3 threes. First game back after missing the last 4. Look at that.
Yeah, I was just looking at that, and you know, it's not all bad if you're Central Arkansas. If you would have told Coach Boone after the 3 games where you're going, you know, at EKU, at Bellarmine, Lipscomb, you're going to be 2-1, I think you take it every time. Because you got 3 of the top 5 teams in the league, and you beat 2 of them starting out. So, you know, it's a tough opening stretch for Central Arkansas, but you know, the fact that you're 2-1, I think, you know, something you can definitely don't have to hang your hat on.
A lot stacked against him too. Short turnaround. Lipscomb on Sunday, fly in yesterday, playing a Bellarmine team that's so comfortable at home. It's really tough.
And a Bellarmine team that came off in a huge EKU win. You kind of worrying they're going to have a letdown at all. And, you know, they came out just on fire early and, you know, like I said, never gave an inch and never really gave Central Arkansas the time to get in this game. And Bellarmine felt like they got up 10 points in the first, about the first 5 minutes, and ever since then it's been double-digit game the whole game.
Knights will dribble it out. They reach 500 for the first time all year. Number 2 strength of schedule in the country. Started the year 0-5. They've clawed their way back to 500, and they have a load of momentum moving into the heart of